Friday, May 12th. Hello and cheers. Man, I just love that coffee. It's a simple little pleasure, but I sure do enjoy it. Folks, how are you doing? Let me start my video and my day, because I just woke up, by saying I am so pleased at the response to the music. I see that it's been a very small portion of people who watch my videos who have taken the time to look at the music video I put up yesterday for the track Sakar. I'd really like to encourage you people to listen to what I'm doing, to listen to this music. The people who are taking the time to listening are all... look at the comments. A lot of people are really surprised at how fucking good it is. I'm not just talking shit. I'm so pleased with the music and the trajectory, the progress that I've been making over the years. I'm making my best music now, and I keep saying it's world class. Now, the other reason why I keep saying this is because every day I get more orders. It won't last. I'm not going to get more made. People are saying it needs a vinyl release. I agree. A vinyl release will be complicated at this point for me. If I'm able to get someone to put it out on vinyl, chances are it won't show until next year at the earliest. So, and the other thing is, providing the weather doesn't blow us out, I'm having my first gig of the year tonight. Noise Fest. It's a music festival dedicated to noise. Literally, like Mertzbo and Nerds with Wound and stuff like that, and stuff that I've done. And Crank Sturgeon is like one of the big names for the thing tonight. He's played here several times. I've never gone to see him, but he has quite a reputation. And I'm pleased to say that I'm on third to the top of the bill of the whole night. That pleases me, and I appreciate that sign of respect. That when the Noise Fest was first announced, I wasn't on the bill. I didn't know the people who were promoting it. But when I saw what was going on, I said, I need to be a part of this, partially because of my history. Got a hold of them, and they said, "Oh, you're right. We didn't know how to get a hold of you. We definitely want you a part of this." So I've set aside a portion of these for merchandise table. I'm not going to count how many I have left. But if you miss it, you miss it. Okay, as far as having a physical copy, you can always download the music. But it's a cool item. It is. I'm real. Blake stopped by and said, I can just babble. I hadn't seen him in over a week. That's my dude. It's really good to see him. And we enthused together, He told me on his end, how it's going and the feedback. Of course, he's busy with a lot of things, and he's been playing a lot. So he has all that going on too. But we're very, very proud of the Muse, and I've already got the beginnings for the second... for the Muse Part 2, or whatever it's going to be called. Okay. Regarding music, played a little bit of this. Mainly I got through the first track because I like it a lot. Walk a While. Fairport Convention, Full House. I'm not English. I'm not British, but I love this British folk and folk rock trove of music. I do. I've liked it since I first encountered it as a kid. I do credit my parents for buying, when we were very young, those encyclopedic multiple volume record sets where they would take you through all the classics, through opera, musicals, folk music, and that was my first exposure, I thank them so much. So I love this stuff. Fairport Convention, Pentango, Steel Ice Span, and then, we go to the other countries, all over the place, Planksty, Clonard, and then we go down all over you hear me talking a lot about Europe because of the proximity to the music being available to me, but I love the music of the entire world, and sometimes my brain freezes when I try to bring up all parts of the world. Here's one that's sitting right there in my W section, which this African rock band, I think they made more than one album, and this stuff is real cool, and it's very, very wonderful. This is not folk, but I'm just going to go ahead and rip on it because I'm talking about music of the world, and their take on rock and roll is well worth hearing. It's pretty unique and it's pretty damned cool. So, as I was saying, hopefully we have potential inclement weather tonight. And with climate change, and they say those words, I pay attention because we could just get some rain tonight. It could end up being a real shitty storm. I'm supposed to be playing on the mobile stage. I haven't been over there to see if we're actually outside. It looks like we are. And if the weather is crap, that'll impact us. We'll see. I'm looking forward to playing, though. Played this all the way through the other day. Benoit Widemann, Stress. Associated with Zool music, I would say. This is wonderful. They play some pretty cool mini moog on here. I'm looking for the other names of the players to see if there are any directly related to Magma. Yes, there's Patrick Gauthier on here. This is cool. Stress by Benoit Widemann. The other thing that I played all the way through, since I haven't been playing, what have I been doing? Actually, I've been doing a fair amount of yard work and sitting outside. Spent part of the day, was it yesterday or the day before, across the street with my neighbor, Gary. I'm just glad to have my cousin and Gary as allies on the block. It was, because we try to not get crazy like some of the other people on the block do. But I played this all the way through yesterday. Animated Egg, Guitar Freakout. A concoction of some players, late LA session guitar genius Jerry Cole. And this is very good. Real cool. Excuse me. When it was playing, there's something on here that actually got either airtime or it was used in a commercial a long time ago, because it was like, oh, wow, I remember this, but looking at these titles, it doesn't come back to me what it was. Part of this album came out as a tribute to Jimi Hendrix a long time ago under another title. How y'all doing? Took the time to listen to part of this yesterday after I talked about Shiv Kumar Sharma. To listen to part of the Rag Rageshri. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. Just beautiful, beautiful music. I have my computer on, and I'm on the Nebraska page for sales on Bandcamp because I'm having fun with this. And since Bandcamp Friday, I was number one in sales until a few days ago, only being beaten out by Bright Eyes with this latest batch of reissues. Really that's cool. You know, the fact that it keeps selling, doesn't have to sell a lot, but the fact that it continues to sell shows up, and that's very satisfying. So I sound like a salesman. It's the way of the world, and I'm embracing it because I have something good for you. I'll say it one more time. You get yourself the muse before you can't get it. All right. 200 copies worldwide is all there are. I expect. Oh, I just reminded me of one more thing to tell you about that's coming up on the channel. But I expect the package to Discus for European distribution to likely arrive there in the next few days. As I said, I will need them to kind of walk me through how to set up on my Bandcamp page an entry for the European sales. When that happens, that'll be the big news of the day here for the channel. But I have some more big news for the channel. Let me get a record to illustrate. Come on, Dereck, wake up. Here we go. Okay. Pardon me, folks. I am just waking up. So, as you know, I've had the great privilege of befriending, not only interviewing, but befriending Gary Green of Gentle Giant. And before that, the first conversation with Gentle Giant members was with Dereck Shulman. Back in a year ago. It was a year ago now. It was last May that I spoke to Dereck. I just reminded myself. Thank you again. See, I need the vegetables. I'm having a brain fart. But we tried to get Ray Shulman through my contact. I can't think of his name right now. You know who he is, with the Button Company. In so many words, people were saying, letting me know that he's not in good shape, and sure enough, he passed away not too long ago. So I am real happy that Noah Shulman, one of the Shulman's kids, he's a grown man, but Noah Shulman, I think that's Dereck's son, he got a hold of me this time. Not the other fellow who set up the Dereck thing. It's Noah Shulman who got a hold of me and said, hey, how about talking to John Weathers? How about let's arrange that, because for one thing, it'd be a good opportunity to talk about the upcoming Steven Wilson remix of Interview by Gentle Giant, which is coming out, I think, in June. Well, I said, well, shit, yeah, I'd love to talk to any of the members of Gentle Giant that want to talk. I'm going to get a hold of Gary in a while, as well as Guy Seggers of Universe Zero and his band for new chats. But I just heard from John Weathers, who responded positively to Noah's suggestion that we get together and talk, and part of it being to throw some light on the upcoming reissue of this. And part of the deal was that Noah sent to me a download of the Steven Wilson remix. So I have it. I mentioned it a few videos ago. It's real good. It's real, boy. Talk about polishing up a turd. The album wasn't a turd, but man, there's just so much depth and clarity now to the parts. And the drums, and I'm going to actually ask John his opinion about this. For several Gentle Giant albums, Freehand, The Missing Piece, and this one too, I've always felt like the drums were not paid enough attention to. At times even sounding a little bit boxy, unnecessarily. Boxy isn't a bad sound for certain records and drums. I've always wished that the drums were better defined. They are. on this Steven Wilson remix. Not to the point that it's distracting or it's like you find yourself, oh, listen to those drums. It's more like, oh, there are the drums. So Noah Shulman, when you see this, thank you very much for thinking of me and getting us in touch, John and I. I was also again very pleased to find out that John's been watching my channel and has watched the other interviews, and he says he's looking forward to a chat, not an interview, but a visit. Stephanie, I know you watch every video, and since this as much as it is a public transmission, it's a direct transmission to my family. Stephanie, you know how much this means to me. This is a bucket list. These things are bucket lists for me. Befriending and being able to talk directly to these musicians who literally saved my adolescence. Because I tried to kill myself a few times, seriously, and one of them is like, I survived, there was no antidote for what I took. So I was apparently not supposed to die. But the music was the biggest thing to keep me going. And Gentle Giant is directly one of those bands whose music in my lowest points would be the soundtrack for finding reasons to stay alive, finding hope. Gentle Giant, for me, is one of the bands of all time, one of the greatest bands of all time. So getting to speak to John Weathers is a great privilege. I'm going to do my homework. I'm already familiar and have stuff of his when he wasn't in Gentle Giant, but I'm going to do a little more studying up, and I'm going to pull what I have that he plays on besides Gentle Giant to be ready to talk about. So that's coming up next week. I'm either Monday or Tuesday. We're getting the date settled today. Okay. I do keep up with the music news. Let me just roll. One of the online sites that I look at on a daily basis is Pitchfork, Revolver Magazine, Brooklyn Vegan, Rolling Stone, The Wire, Adventures in Sound and Music, New Music Express, Spin, Stereo Gum, Fact. Those are the main ones that I always check every day. So the latest thing that I'm seeing here that I'll talk about musically is that Janelle Monáe has a new album coming out. I watched the first video from it. It's just it's all about sex and sensuality. Lipstick Lover. She's celebrating her sexuality with beautiful women, and it's like a lot of nudity in it. Beautiful women. There's a few men in it, but I like Janelle Monáe, and I have her Arch Android album. I really like that. This album, it sounds like, is not good. Well, it's not for me, number one. But with the focus of the music being on sensuality and sex, that doesn't particularly interest me because of the way that I choose to live. I'm not sitting around trying to get my loins excited. Can you feel me? It's a beautiful video. And the song is all right. As far as my first impression of it, it's all right. Not much more than that. Let me see what pops up right quick up on Brooklyn Vegan, because they talk about a lot of stuff. No, I don't care that the Hives are back. Phoebe Bridgers is a big star for young people these days. I've checked her out. She has a couple things that I like. There's no reason for me to be buying her music, though. I'll say that. No reason to buy her music. I've seen some more African stuff that I'm impressed with. I can't come up with any names right quick to share with you, but so that's what's on my mind this morning. It's a Friday. I'm sincerely hoping to play that tonight we don't get rained out or stormed out. It's a real possibility. I'm thinking about Acid Mother's Temple, where on one of the first shows on their current tour, like I think it's in Oklahoma, that the show got stopped because this big storm came in and almost blew them away. And Ron Anderson, I'm really happy for Ron. Ron, if you happen to see this, so happy for him. It looks like the tour is going fantastic. I'm really happy for him, and I love how he's sharing everything every day. He's sharing so much, and I love it. I love it. I'm really happy for him. Okay, folks, I'm just babbling on. I got a good feeling inside. What am I wearing today? My Freeform Freakout t-shirt. Thank you, Freeform, if you watch this. I sent them a copy of the Muse. They said that they would try to get it into programming sometime soon. I haven't seen it show up yet. I hope they play it. I will be sharing a few more tunes in video form as I get some ideas, because I can just do a visualizer where it's just a picture. But, I like to do things. Watch the one for Sakar. It's the video right before this one. What I did was I took the video for Ramped that Aaron made for me, and the video for Break It, which Aaron made for me, and I just superimposed them on top of each other and did a slight bit of editing at the beginning of one of them. It worked. It works great for the track. Plus, the song itself, when I hear it, it's like playing a track on a playlist of stuff that I really want to hear, and it just pleases me to no end. I just hate how it gets all yellowed out like that on the camera. I can't keep the white balance together because of the light in this room. No, I don't particularly want to be looking yellow, but I'm just blown away at my own creation, and don't mind telling you, because when you hear it, everyone that hears it agrees. This is really good. Okay, that's enough. Have a good weekend.